today is my first vlog entry for VDAM, a vlog a day in May, and hopefully I'll be able to get through all the days. I don't know, child, y'all know me. But today's vlog entry is a little sensitive and a little, I don't know, difficult because I just came from the doctor. I have to have a physical every 2 years from my employer for our insurance, and I was speaking with my physician, who I know very well and who I love. And last time I had to have my physical, which was about 2 years ago, I took some lab tests, and one of my tests came back a little elevated. So it was my A1C. And for those of you all who don't know what an A1C is, it is the test that measures blood sugars, and generally they give that to you to determine whether or not you are a diabetic. And the difference between the A1C and a regular glucose test, just so that you know, is that a glucose test just measures your sugar that day. So that is impacted often by what you've eaten, if you've had any starchy foods, if you've had any sugar, sometimes if you've had any caffeine, the way that it breaks down in your system, it'll make your blood sugar spike, which is why a lot of times people will tell you, you know, if you eat something sugary, you'll have the shakes or whatever because of all that sugar dump in your system. And then it kind of evens out because your system is trying to regulate that. Well, the difference in that, which is like if you take it today, that's what your numbers are today. And an A1C is that an A1C does a 3-month look back. So the last 90 days, how does your body adjust to whatever sugar or carbohydrates that you've been eating? And was it able to regulate it? So that's just a little background information for you. Anyway, so I took it 2 years ago, and it was a 5.8, and I think it's supposed to be like a 5.6 and below, so it's slightly elevated. But of course, me, if you know me, I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh God, because I've been in healthcare for a very, very long time, and so I know what the effects are of diabetes and what can happen to you when you've developed diabetes, and that it's not a disease that you really want to play with, and you definitely don't want that diagnosis. I don't want any diagnosis that's adverse, and to me that's adverse. So today she's talking to me, and she's like, yeah, you know, I really want you to go for nutrition counseling, and I really want you to work with a dietitian and, you know, regulate your carbohydrates and get this under control. You don't want it to drift off into diabetes, and so I really want you to pay attention to this, and diet and exercise and all that kind of stuff. And of course, all of this stuff I know. All of this stuff I tell patients all the time, and I just haven't really applied it to myself. And so I'm sitting in her, you know, in the exam room, and I'm like, you know, I want to cry, right? And I mean, like, literally, I can't even tell you why I was so upset, because it's not a horrible thing. And at the pre-diabetes stage, you can really do some interventions to bring that under control. So like she said, so it doesn't develop into diabetes. But to me, it's like, oh God, what's going on? But here's the thing. This is what's really going on. So probably about 3 years ago, an incident happened that was very traumatic, that I won't go into a whole lot of detail with, but I really had to deal with that. And it just set up a domino effect. I had some other issues going on with my family, and just some huge misunderstandings and miscommunications, and it was just a lot. And then on top of that, dealing with the stress of single motherhood. Maybe about 5 years ago, I lost about 60 pounds. So I was really excited about that. But with all of this day after day, never-ending, relentless stress, I started to comfort eat, and just, you know, here I want this, or here I want that. And I just really didn't care. I let the exercise go. I let the diet go. And so subsequently, I probably have put on maybe 25, 30 of the pounds that I lost. So now I'm depressed because now my clothes don't fit, and, you know, I'm feeling swollen, and I'm not really, you know, happy with it, but I've not done anything to change it. So the reason that I'm starting with this vlog is because I hope that this will be a source of encouragement, and I'm just being transparent. You know, people will tell you all day long that, you know, oh, you don't look bad, you know, whatever. None of that matters. If you don't feel comfortable in your skin, if you don't feel like, you know, you look a certain way, I don't mean be crazy about it and be, you know, just fanatical about it. I'm not the kind of girl that will be in the gym every day. That is not my thing. I hate exercise. That is just not my thing. I've never been a fitness person. I hate the outdoors. Call it what you want. I hate nature. Like, it's pretty to look at, but to be sitting in it and letting stuff crawl all on you, and God's creatures coming and trying to touch you and be on your food, and I can't do it. So I need to get myself together, because there was a time when I was walking every day. I was doing either Zumba or some form of exercise. My daughter wanted me to order size a few months ago, and I ordered that, and it's very politely in the box. So I'm making a fresh commitment today, the first day of May, to everyone out there. If you've been really slacking off and putting it off for whatever reason, please get back to your health. That's the best way to manage stress. And I know this, like all of the stress that I've been dealing with, instead of running to the refrigerator, I really should have been channeling that into my health, and I haven't. And so now I'm suffering the consequences. And, an adverse diagnosis may not necessarily be in your future, and I pray that it's not. But if you have a family history of hypertension, diabetes, heart issues, or pulmonary issues, or, any of the other kinds of things that disproportionately affect certain genders or certain ethnicities, like if you're African American, hypertension and diabetes, is very prevalent in the African American community. So, you want to do things that are going to be able to kind of offset that or mitigate that. You don't want to have something happen to you where now you're faced with a full-blown diagnosis and there's no coming back from it. So I really strongly encourage you guys to get into the gym, to get out, to get active. Don't be sedentary. And ladies, like for me, I was kind of like, I'm, getting ready to go into menopause, whatever. I'm not using my uterus for anything. I'm good. But that's not really true, because our hormones change, our estrogen levels drop, causes us to be lethargic, causes us to have, all kinds of other issues. And so really taking care of our health now is really going to help us in the long run when we finally are at the end of the season of our childbearing, and we don't want to be 60 and have to have, conversations with our physicians that are not pleasant. So learn from my mistake, learn from my laziness. Get your butt up, get moving. Today is May 1st. You can do this. I will check in with y'all at the end of the summer and see what your progress is. Hopefully y'all will be able to see some changes in my face and my demeanor. But we can do this. I really want to make sure that you all are healthy. This is not about being, in a swimsuit or beach ready or whatever other things. And I'm not saying that shouldn't be a goal. If that's your goal, that's your goal. But I'm in Michigan, therefore the beach season is only about 2-3 months. So I need this to be able to sustain itself beyond October, November, when we trying to put on parkas and sit around a campfire. So I want to really make sure that you guys are hearing me. Take care of your health, because you only get one temple, you only get one life, and you want to make sure that you are maximizing that. I plan to fully be in stilettos and twirling at 95 with my weave. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. Leave your comments below. Encourage one another. I like some interaction. But make sure that you keep it respectful. Okay? Love y'all. Bye.